Greetings, true believers, and welcome to a strange episode of History of the Marvel Universe. I'm sure most Marvelites are familiar with Aunt May and Uncle Ben, the surrogate parents of Peter Parker who first appeared in Amazing Fantasy number 15. Or did they? Today's story is from Strange Tales number 97, published 2 months before The Origin of Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy number 15. Here we see a young wheelchair-bound woman named Linda Brown living at her beachside home with, wait for it, her Aunt May and Uncle Ben. The trio seemed to have a peaceful life until one night Uncle Ben heard a strange noise coming from Linda's room. Heading there to investigate, Ben found that Linda had a strange dream and fallen out of bed, and after helping his niece back into bed, Ben found his wife sleepwalking as well, something that had become a regular occurrence for both of them recently. The following morning, after Linda went to look out to the sea, as she often did, Ben told May what had happened the previous night. May suspected it may soon be time for Linda to return from wherever she came from, although Ben was reluctant to see her go. And so that night, after the family had all gone to bed, the strange compulsion to rise affected Linda once again. Climbing into her wheelchair, the sleeping Linda left her house, heading towards the beach. The following morning, Aunt May and Uncle Ben awakened to find their adopted niece missing. Rushing outside, the couple found the wheelchair tracks leading straight into the ocean. However, May and Ben had long suspected this day would one day come, when Linda would return to her home beneath the waves where she belonged. Yes, true believers, the twist of this tale is that Linda Brown was a mermaid the whole time. So this was a fun little story, but it does raise the question, are the May and Ben from this story the same ones who raised Peter Parker? Well, as fun as it would be to think so, it seems unlikely, considering the Parkers are a Queens-based couple who had been raising their nephew as their own, while the May and Ben of this story seem to have been living at this beach house with Linda for quite some time. Furthermore, since Linda's last name is Brown, while May and Ben's surnames aren't stated, it seems likely that they would be May and Ben Brown rather than Parker. Since both stories were done by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko roughly around the same time, it seems more likely that, intentionally or not, they reused the names and created two similar sets of characters, one of which became extremely iconic due to their connection to Spider-Man. Although I would love to see Linda Brown make a return in some form or another, and for this story to be retconned into May and Ben's history, just because of how outlandish it would be for Peter Parker to have a mermaid cousin. Anyway, you'll have to excuse me for the clickbait title and the short dumb video. The holidays have been a busy time, but I hope everybody had a great Christmas season and that you all have an amazing New Year's Day. We'll have longer, more informative videos coming in 2019, so be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for those. I'll also be streaming classic Marvel games twice a week over on Twitch, so you can follow me over there and come hang out in the chat. You can always see when the next stream is and vote on the game we'll be playing by checking the pinned tweet over on my Twitter page. And seriously guys, thank you so much for watching, subscribing, sharing, following, donating, and supporting the channel. And I look forward to seeing you all in 2019. So until then, true believers, Excelsior!